What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your latest favorite YouTube channel. Today we have to celebrate, and of course we can celebrate, the victory and the 3 points over Fiorentina at home. A last-second victory thanks to the likes of Juan Cuadrado. But of course we have to be realistic in the victory and what it means and what it looks like going forward. Of course, I'll save that for you for the live video that I think Alexandro is doing before this video even drops. So don't worry, I won't ruin the parade. But anyway, we'll get into ratings now and let you know how these players did in the performance against Fiorentina in the 1-0 victory. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today is November 6th, 2021, and of course I have your latest rundown of all things Juventus player ratings. Before we do anything though, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and also hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Let's just jump into it. I don't want this video to take too long and take too much of your time anyway, but let's go ahead and just jump into what we have. First off, we're going to go with the goalkeeper, and that is Mckennie. Overall, like we said, a good performance by, well, a good defensive performance by Juventus to get the 1-0 victory. Now we can hopefully slowly start to come back. I'm not going to set the standards too high. What I mean by that is I'm not going to come in here and act like we are 1-0 FC all over again. Hopefully we can get back to that. Like I said, I'm happy winning 1-0. But as long as we are winning 1-0. So we'll see if that continues to happen. Let's go ahead and jump into it, though. Mckennie, I gave him a 6.5 overall for his performance. He had a couple opportunities where he had to make stops. But overall, I think it was really just one big save that he had. I do want to say, though, is in other circumstances and situations, I expect to give up a goal, especially giving the players that we had missing, Bonucci, Chiellini, both out, and we had, of course, Rugani there in the defense, and I expected a goal to be given because of Rugani. We'll get to him in a second, so I do have some talking to say what I have to do about him. But let's go ahead. Badin had one save. He had one, and that save was from inside the box. He had 6 accurate long balls, 1 clearance, and that's about all he had to do, and that's good to hear. That's a good stat line because that means that he wasn't challenged a lot, which meant Fiorentina wasn't getting a lot of attempts, which is kind of a big deal because if you look back at it, one of the things that worried me most about this match going into it was our history with Fiorentina isn't that great. At least as of late, it hasn't been great because if I recall, I think most of these matches, honestly, are those 6 a.m. matches or 6 a.m. for me, noon matches if you're in Italy, Juve time. But on my time, it's 6 a.m. It's ones where I'm like barely waking up and then I'm miserable because somehow Juve is losing 3-0 to Fiorentina. I believe that's happened twice in the last couple years or so. But it was not me today, thanks to the defense really stepping up overall. Especially again, I know I'm going off a tangent, but when you have the Dusan Vlahovic, the prize hopeful incoming player for Juventus in the future, we'll see if it happens. But when you have him coming up there and he is a brick bleep house, I was worried about that. Didn't do anything to really attack Juventus, or actually he did, but when it came to it, it was shut down thanks to our guy who I hope does not leave. I don't know why I keep pretending players that I haven't gotten to yet, but let's go ahead and do it. All right, next up we have is Danilo. I want to get to him. I gave him overall 6 rating. I know some people had these players a little bit lower on the defense, mainly because obviously they are defenders, but they have to do stuff in the attack, and then when it came to playing on the ball, Danilo wasn't the best today. But me, honestly, I look at the 4-back players, and I really grade them mostly on the defense. If they do something offensively terrible or great, then I will really take it into consideration. But mostly what I'm worried about is really how they work in the defense. That's me personally. Let me know if you don't like that anyway. Anyway, I gave him a 6 overall rating. He had 4 clearances, 1 interception, 3 tackles, 3 ground duels, 1 aerial duel, 1, and he had 4 accurate long balls. Overall, solid performance from Danilo. Again, I liked what I saw from him. He also got a yellow card today. And then also, this man also got a yellow card for Juventus. Let's move on to him. You know, I was expecting to come in here and rant and rave about him. I guess rant and rage about him. But I guess I kind of more have to rave than I have to rage about him. And that is Daniele Rugani, who, after showing up and doing, against Zenit, literally he played for just a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes tops, and he went out there and gave up a goal at the end of that Zenit match. So I expected nothing more, nothing less from Rugani. and I was positively surprised in a good way, obviously positively. But I gave him a 6.5 overall rating for him. He played the full 90 minutes. He did a really good job stepping up when Juventus needed him. There was a couple spots early on where he worried me, but there were a couple times I noticed when he stood toe-to-toe with Vlahovic, which hopefully isn't a negative thing to pretend for Vlahovic for his future. But overall, I was happy with the way he performed. He had 2 clearances, 1 tackle, 1 ground duel, 2 aerial duels, 1 accurate long ball, and 1 shot off target. So not a bad performance from Mckennie. You got a yellow card, but overall, I have nothing but positive things to say about him for today because I expected the worst, to be honest. Let's move on to our favorite son, and that would be Matthijs de Ligt in his performance. I gave him a 7 overall rating. He handled Vlahovic. He shut him down. He did exactly what I expect any of the great defenders that Juventus has had to do. The same as Chiellini. The same as Bonucci can be seen to do from time to time. But definitely he stood toe-to-toe with him, and he won against him. I gave him a 7 overall rating, 5 clearances. He had 1 interception, 1 tackle, 2 ground duels, 6 aerial duels, 1. He was offside. Sorry, I don't know why I'm coughing. 1 offside. He had 4 accurate long balls, 2 shots off target, and 1 big chance missed. But overall, a solid performance from Matthijs de Ligt. I couldn't ask for him or ask for more personally. Let's move on to the next guy, though, who we have, and that would be Alexandro. I don't know why I'm saying this. All right, Alexandro gets an overall 5.5 rating, mainly when I say that, I know whenever the 5 pops up, people think really negative and poorly. It wasn't his best game, but overall the left side really struggled today. But he only played for 45 minutes, so really I start off at a 5, and I move you up or down from there. He had 1 clearance, 1 interception, 1 aerial duel, 1. Only lost 3 possession 3 times, but again, 2 accurate long balls. But again, he only played 45 minutes and replaced at halftime by Luca Pellegrini, who worries me from time to time. That left side, I'll be honest though, the left side today was just atrocious. If you look at any map, it's horrible, especially when you think about moving down the side of Alexandro, Rabiot, and then Morata. That was really where Juventus struggled today. Let's move on to our next not man of the match, but our next man. He has been man of the match plenty of times, and that is Federico Kiyas. I gave him a 6 overall rating. I saw some people go higher, some people, actually I didn't really see many people go lower, but honestly I think a 6 was good for what he did today. Still kind of struggled a little bit more than he did last match. Of course, to me, I personally think Fiorentina is a higher level than Zenit. Y'all can argue with me all you want, but I just don't believe that Zenit's a better team than Fiorentina has currently. I gave him a 6 overall rating. He had 1 key pass. He had 2 shots on target, 2 shots off target, 1 that hit the woodwork. If that one would have gone in, that would have done something to definitely drastically change these rankings. Maybe not drastically, but a decent amount. Overall, they also had 5 ground duels. 1, he had 2 clearances and 2 tackles as well. So a decent performance overall from Chiesa, but that's what I get for our boy. Then we have to go back around to my compatriot. And Weston Mckinney, this is 4 matches in a row that he has performed fairly well. And I got to give him a lot of credit. I wanted to be a little bit more at ease because I think a lot of people, when they come and see me on here, they think that I'm biased because I'm the American of the group. I'm the ugly American that's over here just thinking America's the end-all be-all, and that's not true at all, obviously. I cheer more for my Italian teams than I do for my American teams because they haven't really given me a lot to cheer for in the past. But me aside, Weston Mckinney has really stepped up. It brings some questions to me personally over the whole season, what has happened, because he struggled through a lot of it. Struggled initially, definitely, under Allegri to really get the flow going or doing what he can do and really proving himself of what he can bring to the club. I think, and I wonder, and I'm just throwing this out, and this is all conjecture, but this is something I'm throwing out, and I'm wondering if maybe a bit of that drama that surfaced with the United States men's national team, not going to touch on what it was. I touched all. I shouldn't say I was about to say I touched all over. I touched on the subject earlier this year, but I'll stay off it for now. I wonder if now that has subsided or things have been really worked out, if maybe he got that confidence back and now he's really starting to do what he needs to do for the club. He's really sticking out. He was one of our best. Actually, he may have been our best midfielder once again today. I gave him a 7 overall rating. Really excited with what he's bringing. Hopefully he can continue to do this. It's 4 matches in a row, like I said. He had 2 key passes, 1 accurate long ball. He didn't take any shots on or off target. He didn't shoot any, but what he was doing was all over the place, being a very good active worker there. He was delivering a lot of good crosses, passes, whatever have you. I guess it wasn't a cross, but it was a pass. It was a deep pass. To Dybala and Kiyas. Unfortunately, it didn't work out on those two for them to continue and score a goal, but he was really actually being one of the creative forces in there of what we needed. Let's see. I think I said he had 2 key passes. He had 1 accurate long ball, 5 successful dribble attempts, really good. 11 ground duels, 2 aerial duel ones. One of the negatives, though, he did lose possession 22 times, but when you're being that active, that happens from time to time. He had 1 clearance, 1 interception, 5 tackles. So overall, really good performance from Weston Mckinney. Good to see him be what Juventus really needs, and I hope that he can keep this up. Do I think this changes anything for the future and his marketability? Really still no. We'll see. If he continues to do stuff and maybe change, I don't know. But I still think, Tchouaméni's still on the horizon of what they're looking for. Let's move to our guy, Manuel Locatelli. I know some people may have rated him higher, but I personally didn't think he had the greatest game. Maybe it's more my expectations are for Locatelli are a little bit higher than most. He had 1 assist, so he did assist for the the goal from Cuadrado, but he had 2 key passes, 4 accurate long balls, 1 successful dribble attempt, 4 ground duels, 2 aerial duels, 1 clearance, 1 interception, and 2 tackles. Solid performance, but really, when I'm thinking about the creativity level, what I'm really looking for from Manuel Locatelli, I expect a little bit more. I think a 6 is overall not a bad rating, though. Personally, you can come at me though, bro. Let's move on. Sorry, I caught myself a little bit there. Let's move on to I don't want to say he's a problem, but a player that was somewhat of a problem for me today. And you know what? Yeah, he was a problem. He was a problem. And that's Adrien Rabiot. The Frenchman does not fit into what Juventus wants to do, and it's really, really becoming clear. I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but it definitely has become apparent to me. He doesn't seem to fit Allegri's system. He doesn't seem to be in the plans of the future. He seems to only be used when necessary. One thing I don't understand, let me just go ahead and get into this. I gave him a 5 overall rating. Let's see, stats of what he had. He had 1 shot blocked, 1 successful dribble, 3 ground duels, 1, 4 aerial duels, 1, and 1 interception. He just didn't. He was pretty anonymous for the most of the game. The left side was getting attacked. All the everything, they were getting everything they could get. But really, what I want to get to and what I'm trying to rush through and what I'm trying to say is overall, the thing that I didn't really like, or one thing that I didn't understand, was Allegri's penchant to just keep him in there, just to let him play it out. I didn't really understand that, especially in a match where you're not losing, but you're risking points. You're risking losing points, and all you can do is you bring nothing, and that's why I'm not going to go at Allegri, but I'm not happy with what he was doing. I don't see a lot of progress in that area, but overall, I'm going to have to do this, and I'm going to bend my knee a little bit. And the thing is, I've taken up for this guy a lot in the past. It's just at this time and point in time, I've moved on a bit when it comes to him. But Federico Bernardeschi would fit so much better in the situation. Why are you not playing him? Why is something wrong with Bernardeschi? I don't think so, but why is he sitting on the bench when Rabiot was struggling all game long, and you give him 78 minutes to play and you don't put Federico Bernardeschi in? It is in a stat. I just don't understand it personally. That's what I would have done. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. Let's move on. Then we've got to talk about Dybala and his situation today. I gave Dybala an overall 6 rating. Again, similar to Chiesa, it was fine, but really the attack really struggled today. They couldn't really come up with a lot. There was situations that they were put in where just really the creativity from the midfield really struggled to really get anything going. I mean, tell me you've heard this story before. They struggled because they can't create. Have you heard that? Have you heard that at this channel? I don't know. He had 2 shots off target, 1 shot blocked, 2 successful dribbles. He had 1 accurate cross, 4 accurate long balls, 5 ground duels, 1. Did lose possession 15 times, but that's pretty normal when you're in that position. And he was offside 1 time overall. Again, could have been worse, but really overall, it was pretty average to okay performance from Dybala. Let's move on to the other troublemaker of the day. Excuse me. Again, I don't know what I'm doing over here. That is Alvaro Morata. And I take up for Maratta as much as I can, but it's getting hard, especially today. Something's in his head, and it's just one of the things that we talk about all the time about him being a little bit emotionally and mentally weak in this area, and that's where I struggle and where I worry about Maratta. Overall, I gave him a over 5 rating, tied him with Rabiot with being 2 of the worst performers of the day. He had 1 shot off target, he had 1 successful dribble attempt, he had 1 key pass, 1 accurate long ball, 5 ground duels, 1, 3 aerial duels, 1. 3 offsides. Dear Lord. I know he had 1 goal that he could have had. It was offsides, of course. 2 clearances and 1 interception. The most unfortunate part of Maratta's performance, though, was I will give him credit. At the very beginning of the game, he was pretty creative in what he did with blocking the keeper's kick that he did to try to I guess, angle the ball in to potentially be a goal. Unfortunately, it went over and didn't finish, but it would have been a really cool thing. And I give him some credit there for what he did and, trying to create something. So credit there, but Maratta just struggles and he's mentally weak. And I don't understand why they've kept him in there as long as they did. Same with Rabiot. Those are 2 players that you probably should have replaced earlier, but that's the options that we have right now. So I give him a 5 rating. Luckily, it worked out down the line thanks to one man, but we'll get to him in a second. Next up, we have Luca Pellegrini. I give him a 5 rating again. He played 45 minutes. The left side struggled today. It was really, really poor. The performance that you saw from the left side for Juventus. He had 1 interception, 1 tackle, 2 ground duels, 1 key pass, 4 accurate long balls, and that was it. That's all he really did today. Again, for all the people that have been pushing for more Luca Pellegrini, and I was there a couple years ago where I wanted to see him on the team and see him. This season, today, if anything, has proven why he isn't Juventus material, why he isn't the level of what Juventus needs from their backup left back or their left back period, which is why in January you'll more than likely see him get loaned out again. But yeah, he gets an overall 5 rating for me. If you disagree, feel free to let me know. 2 players that didn't get ratings were Bentancur and Kyle George because they came in at the very end of the game and nothing really to talk about. But then we can get to our final one of the day. And that would be Juan Cuadrado. He gets a 7 overall rating from me. He could be, some people would say, man of the match. Me personally, the man of the match is Weston Mckinney. I think he played really great. I think you could also factor in maybe De Ligt in there too, because those, to me, were the 3 best players in the match. But Juan Cuadrado, of course, anytime somebody wins or scores a goal, which is the way he did, he really created his own opportunity. And the way that the angle of that shot, I was shocked that it went in. I did not expect it to be able to go in. I thought more likely, I really kind of thought, honestly, you probably should have passed there, but it worked out perfectly. I cannot be more happy about the way it turned out. So I'm happy about it. 1 goal. There's not going to be a lot of stats because he didn't play for that long. He played for 12 minutes. 1 goal, 1 key pass, 1 accurate cross, and 1 shot on target, and 1, of course, that's the goal that went in. So good for you, wanting to see. Appreciate it. And what's better, and it's the same thing that I kind of was really hoping to see, if we're being honest, from Federico Kiyas last year. I really wanted to see him come in, play Fiorentina, and just score and play really well against them. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. That was also the 3-0 loss that Juve sustained, and but overall, it's good to see a former Fiorentina player go in and score on their old club, especially with the way that Camiso is or has been portraying that he is about Juventus lately. Would be interesting to see if Vlahovic can do that next season. I'm just going to throw that out there, leave it out there. Manifest it, if you will. Then finally, I got to get a ranking to Allegri, and I only give him a 5 overall rating. I think coaching was really poor. I'm going to be honest, it wasn't good. I'm seeing no progress. It's the same thing I complained about last year when it came to Allegri. I'm not really seeing a plan. And of course, another thing I'm annoyed by is you're still using the 4-4-2. Stop using the 4-4-2. We don't need it. It's not working. There's no reason you can't just switch to something else. And the way Juventus has been performing, because if we're being honest, today's performance overall by Juventus was not good. It was not good. I would have come on here ranting and raging, like I said, if it weren't for Cuadrado's score there at the end. I would have given Mckennie props, or again, De Ligt props, or whatever have you, but I wouldn't really have a lot else to really say positive about today's performance. So I'm frustrated by it. You should be frustrated by it. It is what it is. Allegri, do something. Show us something. Create. You have these years that you have the paycheck. What are you doing with it? What's the plan? What are we looking at for the future? Where is this going to go? Because I'm worried about where this is going to go, and it doesn't portend good things. I said portend a lot today. Good things for the future if we continue on this rate and we don't see some more just plans, more. Like I said, I just want to see. I want to see something. That's all I ask. Anyway, I'm done before I go off the deep end. He gets a 5 rating from me. Just really not excited about what I saw today. Anyway, that's my ratings that I have for y'all for today's game against Fiorentina. Luckily, they did get the 3 points. We can move on. I'm not looking at the standings because they're not where I want them to be. So right now, that's just the ratings for where they are right now. Hopefully we continue to grow and get better throughout the season. Let me know, do you disagree or do you agree, or what would you say about my ratings? Let me know in the comment section down below. And like I said, as always, please leave a like on the video if you like what you saw here, or as well just to help our journey in the algorithm to really continue to grow our channel and to reach more Juventus fans like you and like me. If you haven't already, like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Make sure you follow us at I think the links are in the bottom to all of our Twitter, social media accounts like that, as well as they've been scrolling in through the graphic that's right in front of me as well. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.